We all know Griffmeister. Hi, hun.
Hey.
Right. The floor is yours.
I'm going to put my camera on 2 seconds and try it.
Okay. Well, just so that everybody knows how this is going to work, basically, whoops, there we go. It would help if I didn't mute my microphone too early.
And it says your live paused as well.
Right, so, exactly, Tina, not all disabilities can be seen. So, I am literally going to mute myself. And Griff now has 5 to 10 minutes where the floor is hers. As in, she can talk about her disabilities to all 300 of you. I'm going to bring people in the box one at a time. And we'll see where we go. But it's open to people to talk about their disabilities, how it affects them, what they want to see change. Carers can come in the box and talk about caring for people with disabilities. It's about access. It's about making a change. It's about making people heard and seen. Over to you, Griff.
All I want to say before I talk about mine is, obviously, because I've got disability, which I'll talk about in a second. I've got friends who also got disabilities I'm not going to go into, because obviously I haven't got the permission to say anything. But obviously I know them all. But I look beyond the disabilities. I look what's within. So my disability that I've got is cerebral palsy, which is the mobility side, which my right side is affected. Because when I was born, hang on, how do I word this now? The oxygen was reduced, so that's how I got mine. So how it affects me is, on day to day, I can't really do anything too strenuous. Because I try and work, which I work on a Wednesday in a charity shop, just on the till or something. I'm not going to say where. But then on the Thursday afterwards, I got to stay in bed all day because of how much walking I did on the Thursday. On the Wednesday, sorry. And then in my flat before I moved in, when I went to view it, I noticed I had a bath. And I had to have an OT assessment to change my bath to a shower cubicle. That's all I really wanted to say about mine at the minute. Does anyone have any questions they want me to answer?
Can I throw a couple of questions at you, Griff?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. How do you find going out and about when you do? Because I know you're like me and you don't go out very much. But when you do, how easy do you find using public transport, for example?
I find it a bit hard and difficult at the same time. Because if I'm, like I said, when I'm working, Thursday I'll stay in bed all day. But if I'm going, because like I said before on another live, that my local town centre, big one, is Cardiff. So if I know I'm going there all day, I'll use my wheelchair. But if I just go to a local little town centre, which I know I'm only going there for a few things, I'll walk. And obviously, if I'm getting bags, the heaviness of my bag will, for example, if I just go and get some pop, some crisps, even go to, for example, Iceland shop, like a 20 quid Iceland shop, I try and hold it with my weak hand. But then it'll keep falling down on my arm. So you have to keep adjusting it.
Thank you for sharing that, Griff. That's appreciated. Does anybody have any questions for Griff? Any questions? No? Well, Griff, first of all, thank you so very much for coming in the box. I appreciate this is not an easy thing for a lot of people to do. So thank you.
Because I wanted to say what, obviously, I know you say about yours, which is completely different to mine, but obviously I
Yeah.
wanted to give a different scenario of how it works.
Yeah. And that's why I'm keeping quiet, because everybody hears about mine all the time.
And when somebody just asked me when I was diagnosed, I was literally diagnosed straight from birth.
You're born with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
You don't develop it. It's obvious when you're born.
But obviously they said to me, because obviously I can walk fine and stuff, and not fine in that sense, but I've got limp when I walk all day and things like that. But they could tell within maybe the first 6 months that I had some sort of thing, because my brain was it oxygen or something to my brain was reduced or something like that.
Limited.
Yeah. So they said they didn't, because I was a baby, they didn't know how severe mine was going to be.
I think that's the same with anybody with cerebral palsy. It becomes more obvious as you get older.
Yeah. And now with my
It
leg,
slows development for a lot of people.
I've got a splint which connects, was it in my shoe, when helps me walk, because where you because I obviously say my right side's affected. With my left foot I can move that like 360, but with my right one I can only move it slightly up and down, so the splint helps me walk better.
Good. I'm just going to draw on a comment there by Lee. Lee, I couldn't agree with you more. It should be every day and not just one day a year. I totally agree with you. And that is the whole point behind International Day of Disabilities, people with disabilities. The whole point of it is to make people more aware so that people are then aware every single day. That's the whole point of the day.
Vanessa Hamilton, what did you mean by the word wheelchair? Do you want to answer a question, or what do you want me to do?
That's a good point. You can't just put the word wheelchair and then not actually ask a question. It may be part of a question that we've missed. If you've got a question, please ask it in full. Thanks, Lee, for that comment. I totally agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more. To somebody who said the same with veterans, there are lots of days that talk about veterans. In the UK, we've just had Remembrance Sunday and the different days that are done around that time and the Poppy Appeal. So we do have days talking about veterans. This is the day about talking about any disability. Well, Griff, I'm going to say once again, thank you so very much for coming in the box. I genuinely really appreciate it. If you're going to jump, are you going to jump down into the comments?
Yeah, and if anyone else wants to come back later on and explain.
Yeah, if you want to come back in and join a discussion later, you'll be very, very welcome.
Yeah, it's fine. Because
Brilliant.
when I go back to say about the OT assessment, I moved in. I'm not going to say when or where I live or whatever that, but
Don't give your personal details.
I moved. I knew I had the keys. But when I went to view it, I mean, I might view a flat, because obviously where I live, I got about 6 flats which are built the same sort of layout.
Yeah.
So I went to view one of them, and I knew that it was going to be a bath. So I went to used to volunteer at disability charity as well. So I used to go to there and go, oh, I just viewed my flat, I took pictures, this, that and the other, and then I knew that I needed to change it, so I went to speak to some of the people from the disability charity which just help with housing and organise somebody to come and do the OT assessment. Yeah. So when I got he said, when am I going to get my keys? I explained when I'm going to get it. Like August, I think it was, August the 15th I got my keys. And then by that December, my shower was out. My shower was in. Oh, fantastic. By October, November.
That's fantastic. And things like that make all the difference. They really do.
Another way, but I knew that if I live on my own, my partner doesn't come off often, but obviously I ring into every day and stuff like that anyway. But then the reason why I asked for it to be changed is because when I was with my mum, before I had the bath taken away and put a shower, trying to get out of the bath, because of how I would need to try and, obviously you sit down like you sit in, but to get out I can't actually put my knees up to help me get out, so I have to turn around on my front, get up that way.
That's what I do.
And then some of the times, like when I was living with my mum, I was falling out of the, trying to get up, or falling back down, or falling out of the bath.
Yeah, not good.
And obviously,
And that can lead to a
I
greater
wanted it
injury.
changed.
That can lead to a greater injury.
Yeah. So is there any more questions before I go? So what does that Vanessa mean by the wheelchair if she's still in here?
Don't worry about it, Griff. It's somebody probably just being silly. Honestly, don't worry about it. Don't let it bother you.
Like
if they want to ask it again, they can ask it in a full question later.
Yeah, so when was it? I don't know if people come in, I look at different disabilities. I don't look at disabilities. They have them. People have them. Whether that's just like autism, bipolar, I don't see that. I just see because the personality of that person is the disabilities disabilities do not define a person.
Griff, thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to pull somebody else up and to talk about theirs. And then later on, we'll probably have a panel discussion where people can throw lots of questions at people and we can all discuss things together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Griff, thank you so very, very much. Thank you for being the first one.
That's fine.
Love you.
Thank you.
I'll see you later on, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoy the chat.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.